Great to see you, man.
You too, man. Great to see you.
Yeah, I know. It's a bit strange because you and I have talked a lot on the phone.
Yeah.
Like, phone
Tons of
interviews and stuff, and then like a couple of like FaceTimers or Zooms or whatever back in the day. Our relationship began during COVID.
It did.
Yeah.
What a love story it is.
But it's pretty good, man. I mean, on your end, I think it's just like
It's been great. Is it life-changing? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, just for the sake of having some fun and some context and stuff, your country music career, I mean, you've been making music for a long time.
Yeah.
But when we got to know each other, it was during the dark days. Like you were releasing music when people were kind of shut down. And still, you had 2 massive hits out of the gate and, top 10 hit after top 10 hit after top 10 hit. And it's been quite a ride. But what was that like at the beginning when you were trying to get things out there? You were excited for the launch and then the world shuts down.
Yeah, we literally put out Pillow Talking, my first song, like 3 months before COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that
was it in January or December of?
We put it out Christmas Day of 2019.
Yeah.
And that was like, I guess like COVID happened like March.
Yeah.
And
mid-March. March 20, whatever it was, 21st. Maybe?
Yeah, and it took off. And all of a sudden, like I'm hearing that the song is like climbing radio charts, and I'm like, I don't really understand radio charts or what any of this is. Yeah, I still don't.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, they're like, yeah, we got like we're going for top 20 right now. Like this is crazy. Our first song. I was like, oh, that's cool. And we were looking to do a music video for it, but at the time, I'd planned a trip with my nonprofit down to Guatemala, and they're like, well, we got to do either music video or you can do your trip to Guatemala. I was like, oh, easy. I don't care about doing a music video. Well, I'm going to go to Guatemala. And so there's still no music video for Pillow Talking. It's like my only single that we don't have music video for.
Okay. I know you're down there in Guatemala doing the humanitarian thing and everything, but they don't have like a camera and a pillow and a bed in Guatemala?
We should have gotten a sponsor.
Kickstarter going right now.
I don't know. We'll eventually do it one time. But when we were down there, that's when we got told the news that like, hey, everybody has to go home. Yeah. Like there's this sickness going on, and like we fly home. It's the first time that we're seeing people in masks, and we're like, what the hell's going on? And yeah, that's when like my music career started taking off, was at the start of COVID.
Were you worried? You were like, oh my God, I've waited this time, and now the timing was all right. We put the music together, and I'm doing this, and now was there a moment where you thought maybe it was going to get derailed?
Yeah, definitely. It like everything was just uncertain. Like you just didn't know what like any of the industries were going to be. Like I was still in construction, and it was like, oh, we got to shut down for at least a couple weeks. We did, but it was like, we don't know if we're even like allowed to go into people's houses to work and like what, and so everything was just so, we just didn't know.
Yeah, no, I didn't want to like, make this all about, I remember that's when we got together.
Yeah.
And you're like,
crazy.
Even the fallback gig, I can't even do that, you know, but I mean, it all worked out just fine. Look at that. So you are sitting here still. Here's another thing that nobody will ever be able to take away from you. The only independent artist in Canadian country history to have 2 number ones out of the gate.
Yeah.
I get that right?
Yeah. I guess it's like independent labeled artist, I guess is like the technical terminology. But yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. Because I've talked to a lot of people over the years who had maybe a hit out of the gate.
Yeah.
But usually and maybe the follow-up even does well. But to go number 1 again.
Yeah, it was such a crazy
I would be
ride.
over it too, yeah.
Yeah, because it was just like I remember when we got told that Pillow Talking was number 1, like I was painting a ceiling, like I was spraying a ceiling, and my manager at the time was like, you need to get on the Zoom, and I was like, I can't, I gotta finish spraying the ceiling, I can't just stop halfway. And they're like, no, you gotta be on the Zoom. And so I jumped on, and they were like, yeah, your song is number 1 in the country today. And I was like, 1, are you sure? 2, cool. I don't really know what it all means, but like I got to get back to work. I got a ceiling to spray. But like it still never really like fully sunk in. But then to have the second one we put out, and like the first one I didn't write, but the second one I did write, and so it was my first number 1 for like my like song baby that I got to have from the very start.
That's a flex, right? The follow-up is one you wrote, and that goes #1. So it's not even just like you're just a pretty face and you're like grabbing some songs that are already written. You're like, yeah, I can also write this stuff too.
Yeah. It was so cool, and like, I don't know, it didn't feel like as much of a fluke anymore, where it was like, oh, maybe there's actually something here.
That's great.
Maybe. And then, yeah, everything since then has been, like top 10 or at least close to.
It's a pretty staggering output, man. I mean, honestly, it's pretty great batting average.
It's nuts.
Yeah, it's really good. Hey, that house that you were spraying the ceiling in when you found out that Pillow Talking went #1, was this just like was it a residential home that you were working and doing a job in?
It was actually my ex-girlfriend's dad's place.
Okay. All right. So you drive
at the time.
Do you drive by it every now and again, or do you know where the house? Like, you obviously know where the house is, but
I know where it is. Yeah. No, I don't drive by it anymore.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
That's on the whole other side of town.
That's all right. So that's not going to be on the TJM tour. Whatever.
Probably not.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll see.
We'll leave that one in the background. I got you. Okay. So lots of music since then, but how has the ride been for you? Getting comfortable, leaving a career that you had already. In the world of like renovations, construction, build, all of that stuff, and just shifting over to this. I mean, you seem to have settled into it. You've got a great reputation. The musical output is amazing. Like we said, the batting average is awesome. How you liking it, man?
It's good, man. Like, this is the best job in the world.
Yeah.
It's a crazy job. Especially like this last year, there's been so many just changes, and it's just like, any part of life, like things change and you move on from things and all that. And right now I'm in the position of being an actual independent artist with no label and stuff, and got great teams and stuff with me that are helping,
you do.
push my stuff through, which is great. But yeah, it feels like a whole new industry for me now that I have to kind of like relearn, and it's just a bit more responsibility and a bit more pressure and stuff being like fully independent. But man,
what does that mean? I mean, for like people that aren't in the business, even for me, I mean, like, it just means you have to be a little bit more on top of like email and schedules and things. I know you've got people to help you out on your team, but you just have to be a little bit more. Are you like, what does it actually mean for you to not have a label and still be in the game?
Yeah, it's basically like having to cover the things that like a label would normally do. And so
money?
Yeah, there's that. Yeah, money, like paying for songs, paying for your own masters and stuff, and yeah, like figuring out, like we figured out like a distribution deal with Orchard Music, and Sony does all my radio, which I'm super thankful for. And we got a great team with Our Live, which is, I've been with them with management for the last like year or so. And yeah, it's just like figuring out all that stuff that a label would normally take care of, but now it's like me and the team kind of figuring it out for ourselves. And but the craziest thing is like when you go to be, you go from being on a label to independent, it's kind of scary where you don't know where your next home is. Yeah. And so it's like everything's kind of uncertain. But the greatest thing about, at least like within country music, is like everybody's been so supportive through every step of the way. And it's like, for myself, I'm kind of like, I don't know if I'd say I'd panic, but like a little bit, where it's like you get a bit of the anxiety of like, what do I do now? Where do I go? How do I do this? But thankfully, I've had a great team around me the whole time to take every step of the way with me, and it's been awesome.
How's the family responding to the fact that you're now kind of just a part of the Canadian country music fabric?
It's weird. Yeah? It's really weird. Yeah, we just did we had the Junos in Vancouver, and so where I'm from, originally, I live in Langley, BC now, but I'm originally from Surrey, and the city of Surrey had like a Junos like party event in Surrey, and I was like one of the headliners for the show, and it was so weird because there's people like that I went to high school with, like I had some family there, and it's like they get to see me doing my thing, and I don't normally get to play in my own town a lot ever. Most artists don't, right? Like every now and again, and when it happens, it's like a big deal, like a homecoming show or something. Yeah, but the cool thing too is like my family's such, like they're my biggest fans by far. But it's
Are
cool.
they like? Do they still live where you grew up? Your family?
Yep.
Yeah. So is it like when your mom or dad, whatever, they go to get haircuts and stuff? They're like, It's my boys on there. Are they like celebrities now adjacent because of you?
A little bit. Yeah. Like their doctors know. They're like everybody that they'll come in contact with. It's like, oh, do you like country music? Oh, my son's Tyler Joe Miller, and like that sort of stuff. And it's like, oh, thanks, guys, thanks. But I
love it.
Yeah, it's sweet because they're my biggest support system. They're my biggest fans, and I love too that like when I go home, like I'm TJ. I'm not Tyler Joe Miller.
Yeah,
and I love that part a lot, where I get to go home and just be me. Like this past week, I've been building my chicken coop back home.
Oh, I saw it on Instagram.
Fixing my lawnmower and stuff.
I saw it on Instagram. Yeah,
I love like the music thing. I absolutely love. It's the best job in the world.
Yeah,
but like getting to go home and be like TJ, and then like I hear the songs on the radio and whatever, and it's crazy. And but man, it's a life that I wouldn't trade it for anything.
You sound like you've got a healthy approach to everything too. I like that stuff. I did see your chickens. Yeah, I saw all the chicks on Instagram. I also saw that you still have a wreath on your front door. Is that for leftover from Christmas, or is that an Easter wreath?
I honestly don't know. You got to ask.
Because I didn't know there was an Easter wreath, so I'm assuming you just haven't taken it down yet.
We got a wreath on that door, and then we've got like a rehearsal space like on my property, and that one's got a wreath on it too. I don't know why they're still up.
I'm not anti-wreath.
Yeah, I'm also like, Christmas is my favorite time of year, so
you're one of those.
I'm fine to like leave that up there for the whole year and just reminds you that it's coming.
All right, we'll talk later. We'll work on that.
big Santa guy.
Putting together your live set list now.
Yeah,
dude, it's like usually, the covers are in there, and then gradually people, as they have a career, as it goes on, they get to kind of like ditch a couple of them. They keep the ones that work, that they love, that make sense in sets for transitions and stuff. But I mean, just you got nothing but bangers in your catalog already, with not that many albums released, but the singles all hit.
Yeah.
So you could go in, play nothing but your singles, and say goodnight, and everybody would be like, cool, that was awesome.
Most of our shows now, like we have to cut like radio singles that we've had out. And like you want to put at least a cover or two in the set list, because you want some something a little bit different in your set, and people that are sing along to, that they'll recognize it's not just yours. And but yeah, it's tough now. Like at first when we put a set list together, it was like we had a few singles out. And like I think when I started doing my first show, the very first show I did was Calgary Stampede. Wow. Which is great. I didn't tell them that until after the show, but
it's the greatest outdoor show on earth.
Yeah. And we had already had, I think it was 3 or 4 singles out, I think, and an EP before we played a first show. And so thankfully I got to start with at least, I think it was like a 6-song EP. So we had 6 songs for our set that we could do, but then it was like, all right, I got to pull some like Paisley covers and Cody Johnson, like whatever we could pull out. And but now it's like, man, we can't even fit in our own music in the set list. Not even thinking about like covers and stuff like that. So it's a lot different, and it's hard. Like it's nice that we can do a full, like a 90-minute set. We can fit most of our stuff in and have a couple covers. Maybe play a couple new ones, but like when we're doing like hour sets and stuff now, it's like, crap, like we don't know what to pull. And like either way, you're at least pulling some radio single that was probably a top 10 or top 5 or whatever it is. And so it's almost like a bit stressful to try to figure out what we should add and what we should take out.
I have talked to a lot of people about this very subject over the years, and so there's a time when it's kind of stressful, and then eventually you have so many hits, you're like, I don't care.
Yeah.
You're like, whatever. Somebody dartboard, bum, that's what we'll leave out. You know? There's a couple that you can never leave out because people would get mad if they came to a show and didn't hear Pillow Talking. You're never going to be able to leave that out.
I know. We almost pulled it out one time, and it was just like
you ever opened with it? You ever opened a show with it?
We never have.
That's a flex, by the way.
Yeah.
Jelly Roll opened his show in Toronto with I'm Not Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm like, and got everybody singing, and then it was like on from there, right? So sometimes starting with like the most because you have a lot. I don't know. What do I know?
That's
Shut
where
up.
we've kind of like bookended it a little bit. Where we've this year we started with "I Would Be Over Me Too," and we like the two number ones that I've got. We're like, let's just bookend them.
Yeah,
those are the ones that everybody's gonna know. And so yeah, "I Would Be Over Me Too" is the starter, and then "Pillow Talk" would be the finish. Yeah,
it's fun, man. It's fun, and now you got a new one to add to it. Doing What She Does.
Sure do.
Yeah. Did I mention earlier that we were the first station on the planet Earth to play this song?
I think you might have said that, but I like hearing it.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks.
Tell me about the song.
This one is it's kind of a different one for me because it's sort of like my first like true love song. I've done a lot of breakup songs. It's like breakups or like drinking songs have kind of been like my MO. But there's been ones that have like kind of alluded to it. Like I'd like song "Wild as Her," and I've had like "Dry Wood and Gasoline" is off my last EP and stuff. But like not true love songs. And this one's kind of finally doing that. And we've been sitting on it for a while. This is one that I wrote with a couple buddies, Eric Dillon and Danik Dupel. And
Danik, that guy gets around. Emerson Drive. I love him.
Yeah. And it was cool because I just saw the like Riley Green and Ella Langley, and like they brought like Eric to open up the show.
Yeah.
And Jake Worthington, who's I'm a huge fan of. But yeah, seeing Eric do his thing, and I'm like, oh, at the same time, like I've got a new single out that we wrote together. And yeah, this one's kind of like, it's about not exactly being able to put your finger on what you exactly most love about somebody. And it's like, you know, there can be, you know, maybe it's, I don't even know what it could be about them. And I think that's the point of the song, where it's like every little thing that she does is the reason why I'm in love with her. And I think that's the whole point of the song. And sometimes when you write a song, even record a song, and it's like all good to go, because we've had this one recorded for a long time, and it's like sometimes you got to wait for the right moment, the right time for a song to have its life.
Big
and
time.
You want to always just release it right when you got it, but it's like sometimes it takes like a year or two to finally, you know, have a song that's like, oh, now's the right time for this one to live. And so yeah, it's finally the moment that I switched up a little bit and put out a love song in a different stage of life now. So
Oh, you are?
yeah, you could say that.
What? Oh, well, I couldn't say it. You say it.
Oh, just in love.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Look at the big smile on your face.
I can't raise 9 chickens on my own. I'm not responsible enough to do that.
That's nice, man. I didn't know that. That's fantastic. Way to go, man.
Yeah.
Love song.
It's about a
You
special
know what,
someone.
though? What's that?
It's about a special someone, so it makes those songs easier to write now.
That person was in your mind when you were writing the song.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That's nice. I wasn't going to get that personal. I'm glad you shared that. That's really nice.
Yeah.
Though I will say that your song, though it is a love song, but Doing What She Does still has that, and I've talked to you enough now to know this, that self-deprecating quality that you've got in there a little bit. It's not just gushy, straightforward love song. Your personality is definitely in the song.
Oh, yeah. It's how did a chump like me end up with an angel like you?
That was a working title.
Yeah, exactly.
Chump like me. Yeah, it's really nice, man. It's nice.
Yeah,
That's nice when you know it comes from like a real thing too.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I've always been, I don't know what the word, not like, I'm not insecure, I would say. I don't really get embarrassed or whatever, ever. But
Not cocky.
not cocky,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. But in a sense of just like, man, you know, I'm not too hot on myself, but I think it's good for our brains, it's good for our hearts and stuff to keep that humility of, you know, we're always a work in progress, I think. And I know I'm always a work in progress, and I'm not even close to getting to be the man who I want to be, and who I know I can be. But I think that like that's the beauty in it is, you know, we're all work in progress, and we're just trying to do our best. And so I think that's just my personality as a human. So when it comes to music, like I don't know how to write any other way. Like I couldn't just write a super gushy love song that's, you know, all that stuff without that little piece of what I've got in my personality. And so Yeah, it's good to keep your DNA in the music, I think.
Sitting here now, it's a few years removed now, but what does Pillow Talking mean to you now?
Man, Pillow Talking means I can't play that song live without giving the backstory every time. The band's probably so annoyed at this point, but
Give me the spiel. Give me the onstage spiel.
the onstage spiel, it changes a little bit every night, but the idea is that, like, even when I listened to the song for the first time on radio, it was on a Makita radio on my job site, and I was painting like a chicken farm house on a chicken farm property, and I remember all of a sudden they're like, yeah, local boy Tyler Joe Miller, this new song Pillow Talking, and it plays, and all of a sudden, like, people are calling into the station being like, hey, I went to school with that guy. Like, what? That's TJ. What? Like, and everybody's just kind of like they weren't expecting a Surrey boy to end up as a country artist with songs on the radio. And, but yeah, like, I was a painter, I was a carpenter, I was a contractor, just doing my thing, hearing my songs on the radio. And that was a song that changed everything for me. And, the spiel normally ends up with, it's cool to accomplish all those things, and we even talked about how the second one I wrote, and like that's a really cool accomplishment. But if it wasn't for the fans that are out there at every single show, I wouldn't have this job. I wouldn't have people. You guys wouldn't have people listening to the radio. You wouldn't have fans that keep us afloat doing what we do. And so when it comes down to it, the song's amazing and what we've accomplished is incredible, but we wouldn't be able to do any of it without the fans. And if I wasn't up on the stage, I would be out in the crowd. And I normally have a lot of the festivals I played. I'm like, man, I used to be right there front row, probably drunk, but like I was but yeah, there's been a lot of like full circle moments, which have been really cool.
I love it. Okay, and then I Would Be Over Me Too, another song that we can't get enough of. It sounds as good today as it did the first time we played it on the radio. What does that one mean to you?
That one is funny because it's also very self-deprecating. Writing about how I don't blame my ex for dumping my butt. I can't say the other word.
Yeah, you can. Whatever.
Dumping my ass.
But
yeah, that one I think holds a special place in my heart. It was like the first trip that I took to Nashville to go write songs.
Yeah,
and I actually remember writing that one. And one of the writers was Kelly Archer, and she had the title, she had the idea, and we're sitting down writing, and all of a sudden she gets talking about. She's got to go back home to like help her parents with something, and she like said the place, and I was like, "You say White Rock, like in BC?" She's like, "Yeah, I grew up in White Rock and like Surrey and stuff." I was like, "We're from the same town? I thought you were from Nashville." 'Cause she's got a twang. She just lived there for many years, and so it was a cool moment where it was like somebody else from where I'm from. And we're writing songs together like this. Like, that was a really special moment. And she's been a huge part of a lot of, like, my hits and big songs. And so...
she's a heavy hitter, man.
She is. Yeah, she's been a pillar in a lot of what's happened with me musically. And she took a chance on a young buck that had no clue what he was doing, still swinging a hammer, and decided to write some music with me. But in that songwriting session that we wrote I Would Be Over Me Too is when she pitched me Pillow Talking.
Yeah.
And so in that same one, she was like, man, like, I really like your voice. It's got this cool rasp, and like, you sound different. I love that. And she's like, I got this other song called Pillow Talking. If you'd want to hear it, like, I think you'd sing it really well. And if it wasn't for the right for I Would Be Over Me Too, we never would have had Pillow Talking as well. So pretty special moments. We did drop a music video today.
I saw it. I've watched it. How do you think? I saw it. But you've shot music videos.
I've shot music videos. Yeah. It's weird when I got to act in them. You know what the weird thing is?
Yeah.
Before I did music, my dream was to be an actor.
Come on. What?
Oh, my dream was to be an actor. That was it. Like,
why? What made you want to do that? Movies that you saw?
Yeah, like, I was always a huge fan of just like the film industry. Like, I love movies. I love TV shows.
Dude, that's why I'm here. I loved Star Wars so much. I just wanted to be in the entertainment industry somewhere, here I am.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's because
For
of Star
me,
Wars.
it was Robin Williams.
Okay.
So, like, Patch Adams is my favorite movie.
Remember you told me that,
Yeah,
and I
and
wanted
Good Will
to jump
Hunting.
out a window.
Yeah.
Patch
like,
Adams.
yeah.
It's like it's got a 6% Rotten Tomatoes.
But it's
universally
incredible.
panned. Robin Williams doesn't even like that movie. Rolling over right now that you're saying, but it's your favorite movie. I love that about you.
Favorite movie. It's like Patch Adams, Good Will Hunting, and like Remember the Titans are probably my top 3.
Yeah, 2 bangers and Patch Adams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like flubber. It's great. But I always loved how he could make people laugh and cry in the same sentence, not even just the same film. Like, and so I loved just telling stories. And before I picked up a guitar, I didn't know any other way to tell stories other than like through acting and stuff. And so that's what I always wanted to do. And then I picked up a guitar and I was like, chicks might dig this more. They didn't, but it's funny now doing music videos. Like we just shot this Doing What She Does music video. We shot it down in Nashville, and they're like, you got to be like in it. It's like a love song, and you got to be in it, acting with an actress and whatever. And it's like, I don't want to be in my music videos.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I wanted to be an actor, but now that I'm doing music, I'm like, I don't want to act in my own music videos.
Yeah.
Like that feels a bit weird.
You know what they do sometimes? It's the guy just sings, and then they have the couple acting.
Yeah,
in the background.
That's what I wanted to do.
You got pushed around by your people.
I did, yeah. But it's also like, it makes sense. Like I should probably have my face in it more. But like, Chris Stapleton is a good example. He's got his song "Fire Away."
Yeah,
and he's like the bartender in it for like less than 3 seconds.
Yeah,
and it's like, all right, I'll show my face for a second, and then the other actors do it. And I think it's the best music video I've ever seen.
It's incredible.
And I'm like, I want to do that. Just let me be the bartender for a second.
Just like a cameo.
Yeah,
Boom. Yeah,
exactly.
It's good. It's a nice piece of work, man. The lighting looks really, really nice.
Thanks. They did a great job on it.
They did a great job on it.
Yeah.
I think it's just such a joy to meet you in person, man. It just feels ridiculous
You
saying
too.
that, but yeah.
I know. It feels like a first date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm happy.
Yeah, me too.
I'm satisfied.
Yeah. I'll take the check.
I need a cigarette.